Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Juniper Vale. Today I'll be doing World Cup Tarot predictions for Wednesday, June 24th. There are 6 matches that day, so this is going to be part 1 video of June 24th. I'm going to do 3 of the first matches, and then I'm going to do another video for 3 of the other ones that day. So today we'll be looking at Bosnia Herzegovina versus Qatar, Switzerland versus Canada, and Morocco versus Haiti. Hope you guys are out there enjoying the games if you're into it. Pulling some cards to see who you get to win yourselves. It's been very interesting. I'm very excited to get to the point where, you get to like the semifinals and the quarterfinals, see what happens. Today is June 18th. It is 4:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm about 6 days ahead in my readings. And I just did a video earlier today with my husband, so that will be up in a few days as well. Those are a lot of fun since he's very knowledgeable about the World Cup. All right. And thank you to everybody who has subscribed. I really appreciate that. I have over 700 subscribers now. For me, that's like huge. It's a big deal. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hope you all are having a lot of fun with the sports predictions. I've never done sports predictions before. I usually do more political world events, but I'm still doing those. And then I have another trick up my sleeve coming soon. But that's going to take a little bit of preparation, so it's not happening right away. All right, so first up is Bosnia Herzegovina versus Qatar. They will be playing at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Seattle, Washington. So that's on the Pacific coast of the United States. Wonder what the weather will be like. All right, let me put these to the side here. Bosnia Herzegovina will be on my left, Qatar be on my right. First, we'll do 3 cards for each, 3 tarot cards for each. I don't think I have a specific opinion about either team either for this match. So Bosnia has the Star, Page of Swords, the King of Cups. Qatar has the World card, the Moon, and the Lovers reversed. All right, so first for Bosnia Herzegovina, the Star is a fantastic card that talks about hope. Talks about really achieving things, I would say. Let me make sure. I feel like the Star is always the card for me that never sits intuitively for some reason. So, inspiration, renewed hope and faith, a sense of being truly blessed by the universe. So, there's a great peace and calmness that comes with the Star card for Bosnia. Like I said, today is June 18th. They're actually playing right now against Switzerland. The last I checked, they're in the 70 something minutes and no one had scored. So right now they're 0-0 with Switzerland. They had previously played Canada and they tied 1-1. So it looks like they're going to come into this game with a lot of hope. They also have the Page of Swords. So pages are the apprentices. They're a little naive, but they're willing to learn and they're also hopeful. So they got 2 very hopeful cards. The swords are more like difficult situations, but when I see the sword cards for the courts, the court cards, I see somebody who is ready to battle. So they are not the King of Swords, but they are the Page of Swords. I think this says that they're Their mind is in the right place. They're hopeful for this game against Qatar. They also have the King of Cups. So the kings and the queens, I see they are leadership figures. So I see them as leadership within the team. Could be team captains, managers, coaches. The cups talk about social relationships, emotions, intuition. So it's kind of saying that they are a master of their intuitions and their social relationships together as a team. They probably have a very good leader who is giving them good advice. So they seem like they're ready to go. They're in a good headspace, I think, Bosnia Herzegovina. So that's very good for them to start the game. Cutter has the world card. The world card is a very good card. It talks about it's like that completion, achieving what you want, right? You set out to achieve something. The world card is the last card of the major arcana. So it is like that completion card. You've gone out to achieve something and you've achieved it. The world is your oyster. Then we get the moon card. The moon card is interesting. It talks a lot about emotions. Sometimes it talks about secrets, deception, uncertainty, illusion. So there could be misunderstandings. When you get the moon card, there can be some things that you cannot admit to yourself, and you really need to listen to your intuition. Um, so I think Cutter is coming into this game with the world card feeling very accomplished, which is good, but they may get to halftime feeling a little uncertain. So maybe Bosnia outplays them in the first half. We'll see. Qatar is playing, they're playing later on today against Canada, and their previous game was against Switzerland and they tied 1-1. So a lot of ties. So they're coming into this with kind of a they're coming into it with a good head too. Something may happen in the game where they're not playing as well as they would like, and that causes them the moon card, and then they get the lovers reversed. So the lovers reversed is like imbalance, disharmony in relationships. So when I think of the relationships when it comes to these sports games, I think of the relationships between the team members. So there is some disharmony there. So that's not particularly good for them. I would say that Bosnia has the stronger cards right now. Um, Cutter it seems like in the second half there is some upset between team members. Hopefully, no one gets injured, but it could possibly be that somebody gets injured, and that kind of messes with their game plan and causes them to to feel like they've lost something. Let's do some oracle cards for each team. See what we get. So for Bosnia Herzegovina, we get man. For Qatar, we get mountain. So the man card signifies masculinity. So usually I think of that in regards to these games as similar to getting like a king card or an emperor card or somebody that has a lot of strength. So they're a strong group, Bosnia. They come in very strong. They may also have very good, that could be like a pentacle card for them and when it comes to athletic ability. Cutter has the mountain card, and that means having to overcome obstacles. You have challenges, there are delays that could show up with that moon card and reverse lovers card. So what else do we get for them? Bosnia, we get the hellhounds, and Cutter, we get the brownies. I haven't gotten either one of these cards yet. Oh, I love the brownies card. So the hellhounds, what are the hellhounds about? Here we go. Look at those. Look at those hounds and their red eyes. So these talk about pursuit, hunted, relentless fate. I feel like this is kind of saying that they have a lot of enthusiasm, Bosnia. They're not going to give up. I think throughout the game, Qatar may feel a bit hunted. Like they're being I don't not necessarily that Bosnia is being aggressive like in a bad way, but that they're really pushing, right? They're pushing. The brownies are flipping adorable. Look at these brownies. Look at them. They're all making something. Maybe they're making brownies. I don't know. They're so cute. Anyway, brownies are about mischief, small blessings, and hidden help. So brownies are little mischievous creatures. Um, the hidden help is interesting. They may get some small blessings, Cutter, so they may score some points or some goals. But it looks like they're having much more of a challenge in this game than Bosnia Herzegovina is. So I'm going to go with Bosnia for this one. Bosnia Herzegovina for the win. Those little brownies are adorable, though. Hopefully, Cutter doesn't cause any mischief. If they do, they could get some, they could get some penalties or some cards, which may cause that upside down lovers card. You don't want your teammates to be mad at you. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Right. So after this, we have Switzerland versus Canada. They're playing at 3 p.m. as well, and they're playing in Vancouver, Canada. So I think on these final days, there'll be a lot of teams that are playing at the same time to sort of wrap up that group stage. There's going to be 4 days where there are 6 matches. So trying to wrap up those group stages. Switzerland right now, as I speak, is playing Bosnia Herzegovina, and originally they played Qatar, and they tied. So they tied with Qatar 1-1. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't try to make any money off of what I'm saying. That's your own choice. Don't blame me if you lose money. Okay, so Switzerland and Canada. What was I looking at? Yeah, Switzerland and Canada. Canada plays later on today. They play Qatar, and they originally played Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they tied 1-1. So there were a lot of ties amongst this group. A lot of ties. So Switzerland, Canada. I couldn't tell you right now who the stronger team would be. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know enough about either team for that. Switzerland will be on my left. Canada will be on my right. Let's see. I hear my husband downstairs. He just came home. The Emperor. This is Switzerland. The Ten of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Canada has the World card again. The Reverse Devil and the Page of Swords again. All right, so the Emperor. The Emperor is Major Arcana. The Emperor is kind of like a king card, but like old school king, right? Kings are a bit more democratic. Emperors are you do what I say. So it's a very strong card. It's a very traditional card. Um, I think Switzerland are going to come in feeling like they own the match. By the time you get to halftime, they have the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is a happy families card, right? You usually have a rainbow associated with it. When I see cups, sometimes I think of goals. Um, so they're very happy. By the time they're at the halfway point of the game, they're very happy. Switzerland. So I think Switzerland has definitely scored some goals. And then they're at the Knight of Cups. So the Knights are determined. They know how to get what they want. The Knight of Cups is a slow moving knight. He's holding the cup, right? He doesn't want to spill the liquid in the cup. He's very slow moving. Still has a plan, still knows what he's doing, still is determined. but he's taking his time. So I think for Switzerland in the second half, they're still playing very confidently, but they're taking their time to think things through and they're not making quick judgments. Canada has a world card, right? That's another great card for that completion of the major arcana, getting what you've been working for, achieving success. Then they have the reverse devil. So the devil card talks a lot about addiction. When it is reversed, you're looking at the ability to let go of things that are unhealthy for you or things that are holding you back. So that's good. So say for example, Canada is playing and they're not maybe in the first half, I would say Switzerland scores some goals on them. Canada has the ability to, at the midpoint of the game to think things through and let things go that aren't working for them. So that's very good as well. Then they get the Page of Swords again. I see swords as you're ready for that battle. And you're hopeful, but because they have the page, I see them as a little bit more green than Switzerland. So maybe not as well polished as Switzerland. But they're both teams that are smart. They're even keel with their emotions. But Switzerland just may be a tad better of a team. Let's see. Oracle cards. We got the ring for Switzerland. We got the crystal ball for Canada. So the ring talks about commitment, contracts, union. They're very committed. They're very organized. Switzerland. They know what they're doing. They're very well prepared. Canada has the crystal ball, which talks about prophecy, intuition, and vision. Again, they're also very prepared. They're prepared in a different way. They follow their intuition a bit more, but they do have a clear vision of how they want things to go out, so they have a clear plan. Switzerland has the witch, and Canada has the ventriloquist. So let's see. The ventriloquist talks about deception, manipulation, and being controlled. Right. So the ventriloquist is telling the dummy what to do, basically. And the witch is energetic, also manipulation, hex, and ritual. Again, the ritual is very interesting because I think it goes along well with the ring in the sense that there's a very clear plan that they have in tradition that Switzerland uses when they play. And it also says, so energetic manipulation. I think they are able to manipulate the Canadian team. The Canadian team is also trying out the manipulation tactic, right? Um, but they get the being controlled card. That says to me that it works for Switzerland, doesn't work for Canada. I'm going to go with Switzerland on this one. I think both teams are going to play well. They're going to play their hearts out. It's going to be a good game, but I think Switzerland is going to win. All right. So next is Morocco and Haiti. So let's see. Morocco, today is what did I say today was the 18th? Morocco plays again tomorrow. Their first game they played against Brazil and they tied, which is very good. To tie against Brazil. Brazil is a very much of a powerhouse team. So the fact that they tied is very good for them. And they're playing Haiti. Haiti is, let's see, Haiti, they are playing again. Let's see. They played Scotland. Scotland beat them 1-0. When do they play again? Probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow on the 19th, they play Brazil. Right. So, I mean, the fact that Morocco beat Brazil is pretty big. Haiti lost to Scotland. So I think Juniper card. So I think Morocco already has a slight advantage going into this, at least. But I don't know the overall abilities of the team. If my husband Tito probably told me in the past video, I don't remember. It's hard when you read cards, it's very hard to remember like what you said, which is why I wouldn't be able to keep track of anything if I didn't record these videos. And we're going through a lot of games, right? It's a lot of games this year. All right, so Morocco on my left, Haiti on my right. Let's see how this goes. All right, Morocco. We have the Hermit, we have Judgment, and we have the Seven of Swords. Haiti, we have Strength, we have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. All right, so the Hermit is somebody who is searching. They're searching for answers. They are thinking things through, how they've handled things in the past. They're kind of looking at a new path. So for Morocco, if things don't go that great in the first half, I think they are trying to figure that out and make a new plan for themselves. Near halftime, I'm saying they get the judgment card. So that's like a time of resurrection, awakening. You have to make a way for new beginnings at this point in order to proceed. So I think that's what they're going to do. So if Morocco doesn't have a great first half, they're thinking things through and changing how they're handling the game. And then in the second half, they come in with that Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a fun card because it's a thief. This person is like, "Ooh, look at these swords. I'm taking this, I'm taking that, I'm taking this. I'm tiptoeing away. You don't see me." So I think in a lot of ways that could say that they're really tipped they're stealing some goals. They're really noticing opportunities, right? So to be a good thief, you really got to notice those opportunities when something is available to you that people aren't noticing, right? So I think Morocco is going to have a really great time in the second half, noticing very specific opportunities. Hopefully, they use those opportunities to their advantage. For Haiti, they have strength, so they come in for the first half the game playing strong. And the great thing about the strength card, right, is it's not just about physical strength; it's about like emotional and intellectual strength. The woman has tamed the lion, and the lion is also kind of taming its own instincts in a way to go after her. There's a nice balance between these two. So I think Haiti is going to come in with a good balance intellectually and emotionally. By halftime, though, they get the of Pentacles. I like Pentacles because they talk about physical capability, but then you have the five. Fives can be tough. So fives can be great things like freedom, being active, physical, but they can also talk about instability, change, impatience. So usually there's a bit of stress and instability associated with a five. Um, it kind of reminds you as a card to take five, right? To things are stressful right now, you need to relax. The interesting this is kind of like the charity card. You have this building here that's this, the stained glass looks like a church. And you have these people who are ill. They look like they are poor. Um, they need help, right? So the thing is, are these people walking away from this help or are these people seeking out and looking for help? That's what you kind of have to figure out from the cards around it. So they have this strength. They're a little beaten up. They're a little beaten up by the time they get to the halftime. By the second part of the game, they're at the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is somebody who is watching his pentacles grow. He's like a farmer. He's planted some seeds and they're growing successfully and he's tending to them. So there's a waiting game here. I think that Haiti is going to I think they have a good plan coming from whatever happened in the midpoint. But they are waiting. Whereas Morocco is taking opportunities. So I think Haiti's going to do too much waiting in the second half. They are not going to jump on certain opportunities, whereas Morocco will. So let's get some oracle cards. Right now, I feel like it's looking very good for Morocco because of this. Let's see what the oracle cards say. Stars for Morocco, moon for Haiti. So the stars talk about hope, inspiration, and guidance. So I think they're going to get very good guidance from their captain. Their leadership gives them hope, inspiration, probably helps them out in the second half very well. Haiti has a moon that talks about intuition, emotions, and recognition. So I think they're going to feel like they're going to start having a bit of a tough time. They're recognizing that things aren't maybe going to plan like they thought because they came in with a lot of strength. And then I got for Morocco the clown card and for Haiti the scream. This clown card is terrifying. Look at this thing. That's one scary clown. So what does a clown card talk about? Creepy, illusion, exaggeration. And then the scream talks about pain, overwhelm, suffering. So I think that scream card is not great for Haiti. I mean, it's pain and suffering. They're not going to, it's almost like a primal scream. They're not going to achieve what they want. And so like a frustration for them. Emotionally, I think they get frustrated at the end of the game. The clown card, creepy illusion, exaggeration. That's an interesting card. It's hard to make that one fit other than maybe perhaps if you take the exaggeration, that's kind of like a way of getting in your opponent's head. Like maybe Morocco is showing so much confidence that it gets to Haiti. You know, they're exaggerating something. And it's not just because you exaggerate something doesn't mean that it's something you don't already or have, right? They could be very, very good at certain plays, and the exaggeration card says that they put that in full force. And so I think that's going to go well for Morocco. So I'm going with Morocco on this one. Sorry, Haiti, but the cards are just saying Morocco for me. All right, so that was a quick one. 3 teams. This is again for June 24th. The first 3 teams. I don't think I said Morocco and Haiti are playing at 6 p.m. and they're playing in Atlanta, Georgia. So their game will be after the other 2. It looks like Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland, Canada will be playing at the same time. All right. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I never really thought I'd get to this many subscribers. I have like over 700 and I really appreciate that. So I hope you're all enjoying these. I also do political tarot and I like to look at missing people, world events. I do new moon tarot readings, full moon tarot readings. So, you know, if you have any questions or anything you want me to read on, please leave comments. You can definitely leave a comment on my community page. Create a post, leave some comments on what you would like me to read on. It's really nice when I get suggestions. I appreciate that a lot. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and thank you for being here and watching. I will see you next time.